Newt Gingrich was on Meet the Press, and he's going to talk tough about Rush. Now, there's no way that Newt isn't doing this on purpose. He knows he's not like Michael Steele blundering into things going, hey, baby, yeah, Rush is bad. Oh, shoot, Rush is good. I don't know what's happening. No, Newt is doing this on purpose. So first, let's watch him on Meet the Press and then talk about his motivation.
This president has popularity, although the fact is his current approval rating is about the same as George W. Bush at the same point in 2001. 58% for a new president is very normal, because people, look, you got to want the president to succeed. You're irrational if you don't want the new president to succeed, because if he doesn't succeed, the country doesn't succeed. So that's not.
Do you think Republicans are discordant on that point about whether they want him to fail or succeed?
I don't think anyone should want the president of the United States to fail. I want some of his policies to be stopped, but I don't want the president of the United States to fail. I want him to learn new policies.
All right, now that's a reasonable position, right, given by itself. But does he know that that's going to cause a backlash from Rush Limbaugh? Of course! So why is he doing this? Because he's thumping his chest and saying, look, let's keep it real. I'm the real leader of the Republican Party. Now, he does not have any claim to any leadership because he's not in Congress. He doesn't have a talk show. Talk shows aren't really a claim to leadership, but apparently these days they are, because everybody's treating Rush that way. Newt has to do a couple of things here. One, he has to make himself relevant. And the way you make that yourself relevant in this case is you throw your hat into the ring. By challenging Rush, you're saying, hey, no, wait a minute now. I'm actually the big down here. Okay? Let's get real. That's what this is about. And so the second thing that he knows he's going to do is he's not going to apologize. So then he's going to set himself apart from all the other Republicans because he's Newt Gingrich. He challenged Rush Limbaugh. He talked about real leadership in the Republican Party, and he didn't back down to Rush, thereby gaining him more points. Now, of course, he's going to lose him some points with Rush Limbaugh. He's going to tell you, as Rush always loves to do, who the real boss is. So let's check this out.
Here's the second bite, by the way. This is the question Gregory asked him was, is in this environment, is Rush Limbaugh helping or hurting the Republican Party?
Rush Limbaugh is, in the long run, an interesting radio personality who is, it's like saying, it's like saying, does Chris Matthews help or hurt the Democratic Party? The fact is, he has a large audience. The audience believes him. The audience calls their members. The audience has an effect. He's not the leader of the Republican Party.
Nor there isn't a leader of the Republican Party, Newt. And there won't be until we have a presidential nominee in 2012.
Yeah.
Now, anyway, what you have to do is you have to learn along, like I did, not take this stuff personally, because if you take it personally, then it can disappoint you.
Are you
It's just part of the territory. I mean, next week, Newt could come out and profess his total admiration and love for me. If it would serve his purposes.
Yeah.
Snerdley is asking me if it's part of the territory, why don't I take him out? Do you really want me to answer that question? You're making this far more personal, Mr. Snerdley, than I. Yes, I understand. Okay, here's my attitude on this. I am at the top of the mountain of what I do. Oh. Everybody underneath it wants what I've got. That's great. That's human nature. As such, they'll do what they can to take me down or to criticize or what have you. It is beneath my dignity to be critical of those beneath me.
Please.
It's just a waste of time. It's all this is such human nature. I know that Newt would give his whatever to have what I've got. So would any of these other critics of mine.
I love how he says, it's beneath me to criticize these people that are below me. And they would give their left nut to be where I am. Well, isn't that kind of criticizing them? That whole segment, he went from between, I thought he was crying at one point. He was like, no, I'm not taking it personally, Snerdley, I'm not at all. To look going, oh yeah? Is yours bigger than this? You see this, big boy? Okay. And so this has become, a pissing contest. Let's keep it real. That's what's going on here. And I think that Rush was happy to crush all the other Republicans. I think for some reason Newt Gingrich betraying him like this has got him a little down. And interestingly enough, but Newt Gingrich has enough heft that Rush Limbaugh doesn't want to pick a direct fight with him. Huh. All right, now we're playing poker. Now we got two adversaries that are, somewhat evenly matched. So that was interesting. Because you think he would hesitate with anybody else? He didn't. Remember Congressman Gingrey, who came and growled on his show, and Michael Steele? He crushed those guys right from the get-go without any hesitation whatsoever about who's beneath him and whether he cares or doesn't care, right? So, all right. I hope it continues. I can't wait for round 2. Have at it, Hoss. Let's see more fighting among the Republicans.